And I'm not saying bills and responsibility in a thing, because trust me, it is. However, we need to take responsibility over the fact that we have been romanticizing our past. Like, for instance, one of my friends told me, oh, I wish I could go back to high school. I was like, you were depressed and suicidal in high school. What are we talking about? You need to stop romanticizing the past and actually live in the future. Like, I hear when people be like, oh, it was easier when we were younger, it was easier when we were this, easier when we were that. Actually, you're more depressed, more senile, and more insane. Let's actually get into it, yeah? Romanticizing the past is taking no accountability for the fact that your life is your own right now. Romanticizing the past is thinking it was easier back when we were kids is taking no accountability for the fact that this is your life. This is the consequences of your actions. And yes, I do believe that our parents and situation and environment and all these different things do play a part in us being who we are. That doesn't mean we have no responsibility for the fact that we actually really do hate our lives. Because let's be real, let's be honest. Wishing that you could go back to the past is just you refusing to accept, and not only refusing to accept your reality, but refusing to take responsibility and allowing yourself a lot of stuttering today, huh? Allowing yourself to not face what is right now. It allows yourself to escape what is present right now. Like, sure, it might have been easier when you were kids, but you didn't have as much responsibility as you do now. Everything was up to your parents, everything was up to your environment, and now you finally have the means to take control of your life as an adult, and you're still saying it was easier when we were kids. Because it really does beg the question, was when we were children simpler, easier, or was it just that the innocence of what we were was better? Was it actually that it was simpler, easier, or is it just you trying to not take responsibility for the suffering that you have not given meaning? Wasn't actually simpler, easier? Or is it just you not refusing to take accountability? Was being a child really easier? You didn't have bills, you didn't have responsibility, it was just play. But can we be fully honest? Yes, being a child had a certain level of innocence. Yes, being a child had a certain level of romanticism within it, because we could have played, we could have do whatever we wanted. However, life, if we stay stuck in the frame mindset, any mindset that it was simpler when we were kids, we would never reach the age of adulthood where we need to take responsibility over our life. We need to incorporate joy, play, and rest back into our life just like when we were a child. Because yes, it may have been easier, yes, it may have been simpler. That doesn't mean you would have gotten as much knowledge as you did. Because let us be so very honest, you need to have a certain level of knowledge, you need to have a certain level of experience to be able to incorporate play and back into your life. Because yes, it may be hard now, but it is only as hard as you will allow it to be. And I'm not saying bills and responsibility in a thing, because trust me, it is. However, we need to take responsibility over the fact that we have been romanticizing our past. Like, for instance, one of my friends told me, oh, I wish I could go back to high school. I was like, you were depressed and suicidal in high school. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Genuinely. We only like to romanticize the good aspects of our past and not realize the bad that is within our past, because there's so much bad sometimes. You know? Like, yes, it may have, yes, you could look back at it and say it's simpler, but I don't want to go back to my past. I'm like, I don't want to go back to those trials and tribulations and learn again. I really don't. Because let's be honest, if we decided to allow time to freeze, there would be so much. If we were just at that same stagnant age, we would cause havoc as a society. We would cause mass murder as a society, because children do not grow up learning wrong from right. It's something that needs to be taught. Children don't grow up knowing what should and should not be. We would cause havoc. And understanding that we as children and our ignorance will hamper us as a society is important. Understanding that you now have knowledge and you now have things that you can give meaning. You now have lessons you can learn from your past instead of romanticizing it is important. Because why don't we romanticize the present? Why is that not something, I wish I could just reside in this moment. I wish I could just wish this was simpler. We always wish something was different. It's about allowing the moment to be what it is. Allowing our worry, allowing certain things to let go and let love flourish into our lives. Because let's be so honest, let's be so for real. Let's be so for real. What does romanticizing it really do? Isn't your current life still miserable? Is the responsibility still there tomorrow? So what I need us to think about what we need to continue doing as a society when it comes to romanticizing the past. Because yes, the past may have been good, and the same thing with romantic relationships. I miss him. That man treats you like shit. What do you miss? Like, what do you miss? And the reality is we don't actually miss the past. We don't actually miss the experience of the past. We miss the feeling behind it. We miss who we were in those moments. And we can chase back. We can find that back. We can find back that feeling. We can find back that purpose. We can find back that person if we allow ourselves to look for it. That is hard and that is work. And it's so much more easier to romanticize the past. But we don't want to get into that topic now, do we? Reading this book and it's called Love Looks Pretty on You. And the line that popped up, what really made me come to this video was, now that you have it all, do you ever wish you could go back to when you had it simple? And that is what I'm talking about. The romanticizing of going back to something when it was simple, when you can make it simple now. And it really impacted me. And this specific thing really brought out a certain level of emotion into me, because sometimes I think I wish I could go back to the peaceful, to the things that I once had. But then I'm like, but I can't enjoy the current moment now. If you allow yourself to, you can enjoy the current moment now. If you give yourself bits and pieces of happiness through your day, you can enjoy the current moment that it is right now. You can enjoy the current present moment right now if you allow yourself to. So yes, it may have been easier, and yes, you may have wished you could have done something better. Yes, you wish you could have done something easier, and you have regrets and you have specific things, but you can take those lessons from those regrets and move forward with the life that you have now. And even though yes, I wish I enjoyed my childhood a bit more, I understand now that I could enjoy my adulthood now. I could take that lesson I learned from my childhood and apply it to my adulthood now. Because let's be honest, how many old is a strong word. How many aged people have always told us, I wish I enjoyed my 20s more, I wish I enjoyed my 30s more, I wish I enjoyed my 50s more. It's a cycle. It's a constant cycle of wishing you enjoyed something more when you could enjoy the present now. Enjoy your life right now without regret. Enjoy it and eat it and fill yourself on your life that is current right now, because you'll never be who you are. Like I always tell my friends, I'll never be this hot and sexy and young again. Because that's what I truly believe. I don't know when I'll ever be able to wear short skirts again. I don't know when I'll ever be able to be myself again. I don't know when I'll ever be able to be this young, sexy and fine again. I don't know when that's gonna happen. I don't know what could happen tomorrow, so I might as well wear that motherfucking short skirt. Wear your motherfucking short skirt. You don't know when, you don't know how, you know what's gonna be your last breath. And it's a constant cycle of wishing that you enjoyed the present moment, you enjoyed your past. It's a constant moment of wishing that your past was better and romanticizing your past. But your past is giving you lessons for you to move forward with your present and future. And residing in the past takes away all those lessons, all those meanings of suffering, the suffering that you have suffered, and takes away the meaning from it because you're constantly wishing you could go back. Living in regret does not help you in this life. You must move forward the lessons that you have learned. And if you really want to make your life simpler, if you ever wish that it was simpler, if you ever wish that you could incorporate play back into, if ever you can incorporate that innocence back into your life, you need to take action. You want to incorporate innocence, protect your circle more so you're not just traumatized. You want to incorporate play, make time for your play. You want to incorporate reading, go to the library, it's free. You want to do anything that you want to do, you have to take action and make space. Continuously make space. You want to do anything new, you have to make space for the new to be flourished. Wishing doesn't make it easier, action does. I know this is triggering to hear, but you need to do it. I love you, my darlings. Bye.